Welcome into the Rowdy Studios. Bassmasters and Buzz Cutler with you, talking about Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman. Now, Ryan Newman has 4 top 5s in the last 6 races.
And a win on the season.
And a win. And is feeling pretty good about his chances of making the chase.
He actually just moved up a spot in the rankings.
Tony Stewart, his team owner, is kind of pissed off right now.
Yeah, I mean, let's read the quote, shall we?
Let's.
And Tom Law, you can flash this up on the screen if you'd like. Quote, "I will be perfectly honest. At this point of the deal, if we are going to run this bad, it really doesn't matter whether we make the chase or not, because we're going to be occupying a spot in the chase that somebody else that can actually run for a championship is going to be try." His syntax is all over the place.
You're just not doing a very good job.
You get the idea,
He's
right?
not happy. And he said this before. Why be in the chase if you can't run well?
Well, Junior has said it before,
Junior
too.
said it. Denny Hamlin just got through saying it. A lot of these guys feel this way. Tony Stewart's frustrated right now. But if you look at the numbers, you know, those guys ran 1-2 at Loudon. Ryan won the race. Tony ran second. It was a high point, obviously, for those guys. Now, if you look at the finishing positions after that, they're actually not that different. For Ryan Newman, 12th, 5th, 16th, and 5th. For Tony Stewart, 6th, 11th, 27th, and 9th. But obviously the feel they're getting is quite different.
Well, I think there are a couple of things going on. First of all, obviously Tony doesn't like the feel of his race cars. He doesn't feel like he has race-winning stuff, or even stuff that's going to allow him to consistently be up there in the top 7. But there's also a basic difference between Ryan Newman and Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart is a 2-time Cup champion. Ryan Newman is not. There are different expectations that are placed on Tony Stewart, both by the public and by himself, and he's not meeting those expectations. He's not David Reagan, who's going to be happy squeaking into the chase and going to see that as a moral victory.
No, Tony Stewart, I think it does come back to feel and chemistry. Do I feel like when I go out there with my race team that we're making the car better, that I'm moving towards the front, that I can get... What he said about Sunday's race was we just kept going back and forth. First we were too tight, then we were too loose, then we were too tight, then we were too loose. Now, you can't win that way, and that's the frustration. Whereas you look at Ryan Newman, and you have consistency now. Ryan Newman's a very talented driver. I think he's got the most points in the last 6 races if you look at the numbers. So it's like interesting that the numbers are close between Ryan Newman and Tony Stewart, but you get the feeling Ryan Newman is feeling pretty good, and Tony Stewart is obviously not.
And I think you and I both agree that as a result, Darian Grubb should be updating his resume. Look, if Stuart Haas is not afraid to fire Bobby Hutchins when they feel there's a need for a change, then Darian Grubb should not be resting on his laurels. I got to think he's on the hot seat right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tony's performance and his attitude continues to go down this road if Darian Grubb is looking for a new job.
Well, anytime the driver says the cars aren't right, then you do have to wonder about that relationship. All right, that's our take on the Stewart-Haas racing tandem of Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman. One, pretty happy. The other one, not so much.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.